Hello and welcome back to Lessons in Attachment. Welcome to day 3 of my mini training, Becoming Unstuck. Today, I'm talking to you about something that we all do constantly. Think. We're all thinking from the moment that we wake up to the moment that we go to bed. Our thoughts have such an influence over how we feel and what we do. So I'm Carly Ann and I'm recording this on YouTube and I'm recording this for the podcast and on Instagram. So hello if you are live on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's carly.ann_. So we have over 60,000 thoughts a day. Really think about that. Really take that in. How many thoughts you are experiencing in your whole day. Most of the thoughts that you're having, and this is the bit I really encourage you to hear as well, most of the thoughts that you are having are not true. They are not facts. They are your opinion. They will feel true. You will merge with them as if they are true. You will live out your day as if they are true. Imagine the impact that has on your day. Let's bring your experience into kind of our awareness. So I want you to consider 1 or 2 thoughts that you've had recently that have clearly held you back or caused you pain. 1 or 2 thoughts that have pulled you away from the person that you want to be. The thoughts that pull you away from the habits that you want to embody, that you've been trying to embody. What are 1 or 2 thoughts that limit you right now? Maybe it's thoughts like, I'm too much, they're better than me, everyone leaves, why do I even try? This is going to be an awful day. Thoughts like that, they really impact how we feel and they lead us into certain patterns, chasing people, ignoring people, playing small, comparing yourself, overthinking everything, the ruminating, the worrying. Overall, we're ruminating and worrying and overthinking. And within that is those specific types of thoughts that you're going over and over and over. And like I said, you are believing the stories that you're telling yourself. Those 1 or 2 thoughts that you've noticed that you're being pulled into recently, how do they make you feel? How do they hold you back? So many of your thoughts are unhelpful. So many of your thoughts are not you. They're based on your experiences. They're based on what you've witnessed. They're based on what you've been told. They're based on pain you've experienced, rejection, childhood dynamics. Your thoughts are often not coming from kind of reality. They're coming from the past, or I should say coming from the present reality. They're coming from the past, our perceptions of the past. And unless you learn to spot that, you will keep getting dragged back into those stories, away from who you want to be. So how do we start changing that, right? That's why do we sit here through a mini training? We want to know what steps I can take to start changing that. Hello, 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 if you are joining on Instagram. One powerful tool I teach, and I shared this recently in the free workshop that I ran, and you can still watch that. If you're on Instagram, just send me a direct message. I can easily send you the free workshop, understanding the cycle that keeps you anxious, overthinking, and reactive. And if you're listening on the podcast or on YouTube, I'll put the link for that free workshop in the description so you can watch all of it. It's an hour of value, trust me. But one tool that I mentioned in that hour-long workshop is a tool that's often used in acceptance and commitment therapy, which I bring in a lot into the work that I deliver and how I help people. So what you will do is you need to become the observer of your thoughts. And the way that I want you to do that and practice that, room for imperfections, people, okay? Don't expect yourself to get this perfect straight away. But what you will do is you will begin to pay attention to your thoughts, and a simple sentence that you can put in front of your thought that can make a difference is, I'm noticing I'm having the thought that. Okay, so let me give you an example. So let's say you are having the thought, today's a terrible day. And you're just believing that today's a terrible day. And that is guiding you from the moment that you wake up. Imagine how that makes you feel. Imagine how it impacts your behaviors. But what we're going to do, and what I really encourage you to practice, is saying to yourself, I'm noticing I'm having the thought that today is a terrible day. If I'm saying, I'm rubbish, I'm boring. If instead I say to myself, I'm noticing I'm having the thought that I'm rubbish and I'm boring. Can you feel the difference? Can you hear the difference? We're not so fused and merged with that thought. We're giving ourselves space to see this is an opinion. This doesn't have to be fact. I don't have to get up out of bed and live like this is true. You're becoming the observer and separating yourself from it. It's diffusion. It's a total game changer. This is how you untangle from unhelpful thoughts. Well, it's the beginning of, let's be really clear there, because our thoughts are influenced by, deep held belief. So this is the beginning of going from stuck to secure in your thoughts. If this does resonate with you, if your thoughts have been playing a really big part in you feeling stuck right now, if you know that it feels like your mind is controlling you and you want to become the observer of your thoughts, you want to have more control over your thoughts, you want to be able to manage how you think and how that then makes you feel and what you do, and you want to be more secure in your thoughts, on the 1st of August, I'm opening the doors to Stuck to Secure. It's a 21-day challenge, so it's not going to eat up loads of your time. Each day, each morning UK time, you're going to be sent a sort of mini podcast, if you like, that will give you 20 over the 21 days, practical psychological tools to help you go from stuck to secure. So whatever it is that you're feeling stuck in right now, and a huge section of that is to interrupt your thoughts and gain more power and control over your thoughts. So you will walk away with set tools on how to manage your triggers, like we discussed yesterday, how to interrupt your thoughts and become the leader of your own mind. And of course, we will look at other areas as well, which I'm going to continue to look at throughout this training. So if you want to come and join us for Stuck to Secure, the best way to do that, send me a direct message on Instagram or go to the link in my bio. If you're on the podcast, go to the description. Say yes to yourself, invest in yourself, take that leap. If you've got thoughts saying to you, no, absolutely not, I can't do that, this is a great way to challenge those thoughts and say yes to yourself. Experiment with something new. Remember what we're doing. Think of the day one training. We want to move towards who we want to be. What decisions can I make today to move towards who I want to be? And I create these courses, I create these challenges to help you to do that. But you have to say yes. I can give you the tools, I can give you the strategies, and I do with passion. Hope you guys know that. But you have to come to me and say, yes, let's do this. Okay, so if you're feeling that, yes, let's do this, I know I'm ready for more, because we don't have to wait until December to make change. We can do it midway through the year right now. But for now, your thoughts, remember, try practicing putting that one sentence in front of your negative thoughts. I'm noticing I'm having the thought that, and just see what world that opens up for you. Just see what comes naturally from you practicing that. Next time your mind tells you something that hurts, pause, breathe, and say, I'm noticing, I'm having the thought that. That's the first step I'm giving you today. And I will be here tomorrow for the next part of this mini training, Becoming Unstuck. And just before I go, if you're listening on the podcast, I would absolutely be so grateful if you could leave a review for this podcast. I've never really asked, and that really shows through the fact that honestly, this podcast does not have many reviews, considering how many of you listen and how many of you tell me that you get something from this. So I'm trying to be brave and ask for that, for you to leave that 5-star review. Someone did that for me yesterday. I'm going to assume that you're watching this. You left a comment for me, you left a review for me, and the timing of that just it really gave me a moment to say, this YouTube especially hasn't really taken off. I've not had that viral moment. But knowing, actually a couple of you left really lovely messages recently, and knowing that it is even just helping the two of you, that's enough. Like, that's why I will continue to post on YouTube, even if it's to crickets. And it's why I encourage you to follow your passion, follow a purpose. Don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about what other people think. Let's make a difference. Let's do what we are called to do. Okay, that's probably a whole other training. But that's the kind of vibe you will get inside Stuck to Secure, by the way. Thank you for being here, and I will see you for the next training tomorrow.